Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Logic Vault. This is part 2 of reacting to Asmongold and the health expert. So we're going to see how this goes and listen to the rest of this.
Quite wrong. Maybe Virgie is encouraging people to exercise. She recently held a reclaiming movement after diet culture workshop. My heart is so full after hosting the reclaiming movement after diet culture workshop today. Fat phobia, diet culture, and toxic fitness culture try to convince us that there is a line between legitimate exercise and illegitimate movement. Everything else we do all the time, like laugh, breathe, cry, hug our pals, run to get the last slice of pizza.
I don't think she's running to get the last slice of pizza. I don't think that's happening.
Bend over to give our fur children a pet, have sex,
our fur children? Oh, it just keeps getting better.
Etc., etc. Okay, well, there is a line. There's a distinction between running to get the last slice of pizza and exercising. But I think what's even more concerning is not only do these things not qualify as exercise, they don't even really qualify as movement. This is a whole workshop that, in theory, would be just encouraging people to do what they can.
It's like, well, how is it legitimate that you're exercising, but me laughing and eating pizza isn't legitimate?
Lower the bar a bit, but be active in your own way. Do something from where you're at. But with Virgie, we can see that she lowered the bar from exercise to just...
Sometimes, you know, sometimes I gotta ask, because I really gotta know. What is the definition of movement then? Like, what is that? What's the definition of exercise? Because if it's laughing and eating pizza, then shit, I might as well add that to my workouts.
Movement, but then didn't even meet that bar. Let's go through
What a surprise.
Okay? Laughing. I mean, you can call
You're
it
moving
movement.
your
It's not
face,
really
right?
Voluntary though, so it's kind of on the line. Breathing definitely does not count as movement.
I think for fat people it is harder to breathe, so for her it's probably exercise.
That's funny.
I mean, there's been times
let's be honest.
called movement, I guess. Hugging our pals. I'm not going to qualify that one as movement. You're stationary, most of that. Running to get the last slice of pizza. Ironically, this is the most movement that is on this list.
And it's also probably a lie.
Making tea. Again, you are stationary throughout the entire thing. Doesn't count. Bending over to give our fur children a pet. It scares me that Virgie's experience...
It's like this is made on purpose to be annoying.
With day-to-day movement is so limited that bending over qualifies to her as movement. Have sex. Okay, sure, fine.
Great.
Exist. Virgie, there is a clear line between exercising and existing, okay?
Sure.
I feel like the fact that exist is on this list. Considering that a lot of the time we are existing, it looks like this, and this, and this, I am going to go ahead and declare that existing is not movement. If you added up the steps from this daily movement, you'd be at like 50 steps. You really would think that the entire point of a workshop like this would be like, you know what? No matter where you're at, you can do something. Go for a walk. Go outside and play with your kids, your pets. Keep your house really clean. Pick up a sport with your friends. Years ago on the channel, I covered a story of a really inspiring person named Jesse Shand. He was like 600 pounds. He could barely stand up. And to get started exercising, he literally just flopped around.
Wait, is this the dude that was really big and just started continually working out, and he lost a lot of weight? I'm not mistaken, but I think that's him.
Who said that, hey, your weight, you could just literally flop around and lose weight. I laughed, I had to admit, but
then you started flopping.
And that honestly was not only movement.
I think that there's so much toxic positivity in like a lot of women's movements where like they enable bad behavior like this. And I think this is a really great example where like I think men have a much easier job holding each other accountable for like unhealthy or bad practices.
Absolutely.
And I think that women, and this is going to be a bit of a conspiracy theory, but I've always thought that women encourage other women to gain weight as some form of like fucking, 500 IQ evolutionary thing because they know it's going to give them like an advantage in like biological reproduction. Like that's probably totally fucking insane for me to say, but it makes sense.
That was exercise.
You know what's crazy and he was talking about, you know, like how guys hold each other accountable. Dude, my buddy Nick literally today calls me up, goes, "Hey man, you want to go to the gym?" And I was like, "Dude, way ahead of you. I already worked out today, you know, so I'm playing guitar. I'm relaxing on the couch because I already worked out. You know, I didn't want to go twice. You know, wasn't feeling it." He was like, "All right, I get it. You already worked out." And I was like, "Hell yeah, you know, I'm trying to keep up." But he goes to the gym a lot. I work out at home now. I changed up my routines because I'm trying to do more endurance than just, you know, strength training.
Got his heart rate up, he was sweating, it was exercise, and it changed his life. If we always just do what we can today and do a little bit better tomorrow.
You see? You see? You know what's crazy? And I know, I mean, Asmongold might not say it, but in both of these photos here, in the left one where he's super big, he's miserable. I mean, the dude's just sad. But in this right photo, you can see the happiness in his face. You can literally see it. You can see the happiness come back.
That's crazy.
We'll find ourselves one day in a better place in life. And so I think that would really be the purpose of her being hired. Here are some clips from longevity doctor and author Peter Attia on the value of adding just a little bit of exercise to your life.
What's the difference in all-cause mortality if I go from doing zero exercise to doing just a bit?
Going from zero activity to just 90 minutes a week is about a 15% reduction in all-cause mortality.
So I'm 15% less likely to
So if you just fuck around for an hour and a half a week, you're 15% less likely to die from some bullshit? That's crazy.
And if you go from being completely sedentary to just doing 90 minutes a week.
You start looking at the health benefits of, you know, purposeful but not really brisk walking. They're substantial. Walking the dog. The data on
bro, this must make her so upset.
gardening. So the health benefits of light physical activity, light exercise, I mean, are substantial.
Going from completely sedentary to just doing some movement, not existing or running for pizza type movement, real movement, changes your health radically for the better. So you'd think that the point of a reclaiming movement workshop would be to promote this message, but instead,
so they're reclaiming physical movement by let me get this straight. So this is like you're reclaiming physical movement by categorizing physical movement as breathing.
I turned on my wall light.
Message was literally this. What if,
of course,
instead of trying for more movement each day, we just change the definition of movement? Some of Virgie's finest work, well worth whatever the taxpayers of San Francisco are paying her, I'm sure. Although I did see that the position was worth only like $12,000, so it's not anything crazy. But I mean, given the premises of the workshop, it's
98% of people vote no. How did this happen? If 98% of people don't want this, why is it there?
Probably 12,000 too many. Virgie actually breaks it down further, and it honestly just gets worse. The premises of the workshop were, number one, we are all born movers. The universe is always moving, and so are we.
The planet is moving, so I'm always moving. So we have actually gotten into intergalactic, transplanetary hoglogic. God, I didn't even know that we could. This is impressive.
This cracks me up.
No, this is crazy. Let her cook?
This dude makes me laugh.
I guess so.
She's literally saying that we're already moving because the planet is rotating, isn't she? That's what that says, right? I'm not just the universe is.
God damn. Oh, that's awesome.
Oh my fucking god. How is this real?
Always moving, that's what that says. See, like, what do we actually do with this? The workshop is persuading people that exercise is unnecessary because the planet is rotating. This is why I don't want to talk about this stuff anymore. It's too out there for me.
So
I just don't. But it actually blows my mind when I see university after university has invited Virgie to come and speak. She's given multiple speeches at Berkeley, a well-respected American.
No. What?
University. And it actually kind of messes with your head a bit. You're like, am I missing something here? Or is what this person's saying actually not making any sense? Exercise is the rendering of movement into productivity and outcome. Usually that outcome is modification and disciplining of the body.
Holy fuck, did you get this from ChatGPT? No, you didn't, because if it did, it would have made more sense. Exercise is a construction.
A way of claiming the body as your responsibility rather.
No, let's read that. Exercise is a construction that is designed to generate blame, and that's why it can feel so loaded. No, it's because you let yourself get 300 pounds. So awful, even though it's just 1 foot here, 1 foot there, one arm here, one arm there. Yeah. Because your arm is the size of like 4 and your legs are the size of like 5. Okay.
Rather than the responsibility of the collective. Exercise is a construction that is designed to generate blame, and that is why it can feel so loaded, so awful, even though it's just 1 foot here, 1 foot there, one arm here and one arm there. I don't know where to start. There's so much.
This is amazing. This is absolutely amazing.
Wrong with it. This is the perspective of someone who seriously couldn't possibly imagine exercising.
And you have to understand that these people are so selfish and so self-centered that they literally think that the planet is rotating in order to help them exercise and lose weight.
Oh, dear God.
Like, they actually think that the world revolves around them.
Yeah.
It's incredible.
For any other reason than hating the way that your body looks. But Virgie, you know you have a heart and it is a muscle. You have a brain. I think thus far in society, exercise has had terrible PR. I think something we do a terrible job of in society is bringing home the message that exercise is not just a weight loss thing. It's barely a weight loss thing. It's a life thing. We all need to do it whether we like it or not every single day. And Peter
you know what? Never mind.
Tia's outlive, he says we'll actually have to train in order to do the following basic activities when we're like 70 or 80. Go for a nature hike through a hilly area. Pick up a grandchild. Carry in your own groceries. Lift a suitcase into an overhead compartment on an airplane. Open a jar. Have sex. Climb stairs without assistance. Isn't that insane? We won't be able to do any of that basic stuff if we don't train for it. In other words, at the time when most people
there's plenty of people. No, it's true. There's plenty of people. They're fucked up. Like, they're all kinds of fucked up, and they're not even. I've seen people that are 60, and they're needing to use mobility scooter at Walmart, and they're over there on the Cheetos aisle, just balling out. I mean, that's it. They won't make it to 40. Nah, there's most fat people. Most of them crash out around 45 to 55. That's usually what happens.
To retire, they will have zero quality of life.
You guys ever notice how the only fat person that's really old that's famous is Santa Claus and he's not real?
That makes sense. No, that
you guys ever pick up on that?
Life if they don't train for it. And if you're very overweight or obese, which is Virgie's audience, is who she's been hired to represent, you're actually going to need to exercise even more to account for this. And I know a lot of people aren't motivated by who they'll be when they're older. But if you also just want to be your best self in general, like today, exercise is inseparable from this. Yep. If you want to have your best brain.
Like, I started exercising more recently too. Like, I exercise pretty much every day. As soon as I end my stream, I immediately go for like a 20-minute, like maybe a mile and a half walk. And I don't really like, I'm not doing like, okay, and the fact is that the only reason why I'm not exercising and doing more is because I'm lazy and I'm not putting in enough effort, right? That's enough, right? Like, I'm not. Like, I have weights, I have resistance bands, I have other forms of like body weight exercise that I could do. I'm just not doing them, right? And so like that's it. It's not society's fault. It's not McDonald's fault or anything. It's just simply my fault because I'm not making it a priority, right? Do you feel better? I do actually. After like exercising, because like so this is the difference, right? Is that like whenever I was a kid, I was very athletic, right? And you guys might not believe this, but it's true. And I spent 8 hours playing video games, 8 hours sleeping, and 8 hours being physical. And I remember when I cleaned up my entire house whenever I was banned, I actually felt great. And I was being physical and doing things and being active for like over 5 hours a day. I felt great.
I mean, yeah.
Today, you need to exercise today. I was actually reading this other book, Spark, about the benefits of exercise. There's a school in America that has these students exercising first thing in the morning, but like it's one of their classes, and they're doing really hard exercise, and they're finding that the kids that are taking this class first thing in the morning are crushing the rest of the day. I'll do a video on this book in the future. It's actually wild. And it's really the same.
I don't like that. I think that could be a correlation, not causation situation, because I would assume that students that take the exercise classes are probably more predisposed to being conscientious about themselves, which would mean that they're more conscientious about, like obviously school. And also, I think that there's a trend that people that are wealthier and have more money generally put health as a higher premium. And so you're going to have a lot of conflating variables with that. It's just my opinion, right? I mean, it's just like this is like, actually, it doesn't really matter, but like I'm just, bringing this up. I guess this is what it must feel like whenever somebody does it in chat.
God damn it, dude! Right.
Same with healthy eating too, though. If you want to have your best day today, not to mention when you're old, you got to eat healthy today. Yeah. Mood, energy, memory, learning, just general like quickness and zippiness of your brain. That is all
lazy ass going
by
back to sleep
and food
on the other
and other stuff. But those are important. So yeah, Virgie, off.
There you go.
The entire concept of exercise. It's fair to not like it, okay? But if you hate it this much, you have to do some inner work.
Well, hey, if you hate exercising and you love eating food and you want to be fat, that's great. You're gonna die. Go ahead. Do it. This is America. You can be 600 pounds, you can suck 600 dicks, you can make $600,000 a year, and you can do whatever the hell you want to do. It's America. That's right. That's freedom.
He's right.
Probably should not hold a position.
He's right. That's why people like America so much. People can say that you hate it. That's fine. You can say that you dislike it. That's fine. You can say we're communists and that we're Nazis. That's fine. But compared to any other planet, Jesus, compared to any other country in the world or other place in the world, the United States of America stands as number one for the most free country in the world. Even if sometimes, freedoms are being, pressed a little bit, the United States is still the number one that holds the most freedom for its citizens. This trumps China. It trumps Russia. It trumps Philippines. It trumps the Middle East. The United States is still number one, baby. Always will be. And you can't take that away. You just can't. You can't take away freedoms like that. When you have a place like that has freedoms like that are bound by laws and things like that, that are bound by laws and regulations that don't, I want to say, infract or demean upon a person or individual or characters, and gives you true freedom, allows you to say whatever you want, do whatever you want. Now, mind you, doing whatever you want still have consequences. Saying whatever you want, you could say whatever you want. It's not really going to do anything to you. But that's America for you, baby.
Position in public health of any kind. Like hating on exercise because of your experience with diet culture is like hating on
somebody's saying, do you think that the government wants this woman doing speeches so more people die before they collect Social Security?
vegetables. Oh yeah, that's right. Virgie and her friends did a whole skit hating on vegetables too.
Die, Kale, die! You vegetable!
Dude.
Bro. What?
This is so fucking ridiculous. How is this real?
I want everybody to be aware. I would be very embarrassed if I knew even one of these individuals. Yes, I would be embarrassed, especially for that one in the back and the one in the front. Oh, I'm glad I don't. I'm glad I don't. I'm glad that I moved out of California. But let's go ahead and let's play this. I'm going to go grab a drink while this is running. Let you guys continue listening.
It's like this should be a skit from like Portlandia or something. This has to be a joke.
Not only that, but Virgie has had some really terrible takes on childhood obesity recently.
Let me guess. It's okay.
And I can't show you too much of their conversation because Dr. Phil is notorious for copyright striking, but I'm gonna take the risk for Virgie's views on childhood obesity. Dr. Phil had Virgie Topor on his show along with this fit pro-health medical doctor, and at some point
bro, Dr. Phil, I'm gonna be honest, I love Dr. Phil. I think Dr. Phil is so fucking based. So let me get this straight. So Dr. Phil, Baldy brings on this fat, San Francisco health assistant or health professor that thinks that exercising is bad. And then he also brings on this super attractive doctor to just make her look like a fucking idiot.
Absolutely. That's a unit right there, man.
Oh, God.
And at some point, he blatantly asks Virgie if she disagrees with the idea that we should end childhood obesity.
Does anybody disagree that if we can stop childhood obesity from a health standpoint, that we should? Does
anybody disagree? I can think of somebody who disagrees.
Anybody disagree with that? Do you disagree with that?
What do you think Virgie says to that? Well, she basically just flat out refuses to answer the question, just kind of stutters.
I just think that it's a very big phrase, right? Like, at the end of the day, right, long-term dieting sets...
I think if your kid's morbidly obese, it should be child abuse. If your kid's a little chubby, that's just the way it is, right? And there's a little bit of biological diversity that people have, definitely, right?
Absolutely.
But, you talking about 100 pounds? It's child abuse, bro. Yeah. Can somebody... I tweet that, send that to RFK.
If your kid looks like, those really good looking bags of Hawaiian rolls, okay? If you have any sort of rolls of any kind, okay? Whether that's steakhouse rolls, Hawaiian rolls, the peanut gallery roll, I don't care where the rolls come from. If you're a child, and have that, oh my God, that house needs to be investigated. I kind of agree with him. The child abuse is insane. Anyways.
Because why don't he? Can he just make that a rule? They can make that a rule, right? Yeah, no, calm down. No, I'm serious. Why not? Child abuse and grooming charges? Yeah, I'd say child abuse for sure.
She kind of looks like
child
a
neglect or
from a game
abuse. Yeah, definitely. You're not wrong. Yeah. Too subjective. No, it's not. There's your healthy weight for your size and weight, and morbid obesity is being 100 pounds above that.
Damn. Didn't know that.
That's child abuse. It's simple. That. There it is. It's not.
Healthy weight would be.
This is what hogs do. Is that they have,
because I don't like being skinny.
They create an apparatus of lies that they live in.
Man, I used to be tiny.
And it's built off of compounding lies.
People up to gain weight over time.
It's wrong by its freedom. It's not freedom. It's a child. A parent is responsible for the well-being of their kid before they're 18. If their kid is causing problems, it's the parent's responsibility to solve that. That's the way it works. The kid has the freedom to grow up with parents that take care of them. That's what I would say.
At the end of the day, right, long-term dieting sets people up to gain weight over time.
Nobody's said anything about dieting.
Long-term dieting sets people to gain weight over time. Guys, what kind of logic is that?
Dude, fuck, you're asking me.
Dr. Phil straight up asks her, if you could push a magic button and end childhood obesity, knowing all the health and life problems that it causes, would you do it?
I love Dr. Phil.
If you can push a button and keep a child from experiencing obesity, that's not.
Yeah, sure, but we don't have the button. But
yeah,
let's
you do.
say you did.
No, you
What
got the
I
button.
ask you,
That's her response.
Trust me, you got the
She's
button.
not going to put an end to childhood obesity because childhood obesity is the result of body diversity. Childhood obesity is natural.
that seemed to me like a question that anybody would say yes to. If you could stop childhood cancer, would you say yes to that?
Well, I think what's hard is we're using the word obese.
I like that caption right there. Crowd groans.
Bro, he got her. He fucking got her. This is terrifying.
The
thing is that
Dora in
for like
reality.
for the better part of 10 years, we were
she's big.
prevented from being able to say the truth about people like this. And we were living in a Karenocracy. And this type of disgusting, gluttonous, self-serving,
He's hitting it with all
selfish
the words. Damn.
behavior was normalized.
I do agree.
That's it.
Damn, somebody
No
said
longer.
Shrek's daughter. So you can't tell. 'Cause
We
I
are
put
done
my
with
face
that.
above his
Thank God.
chat. Somebody called her
Karen's
Shrek's
against the
daughter.
Matrix? Yes, we have to break out of the Karen Matrix.
Obesity when there's actually body diversity, right? Like there are people in this room who have children who are naturally in larger bodies.
Ma'am, you really
They're naturally in larger bodies.
What's a naturally larger body?
It's like I was going to make a car joke, but
Like
I was
there's-
like, wait a minute. No, you can choose to buy a Miata or you can choose to buy a van. It doesn't even make sense with a car. They're born fat. It's disinformation. Yeah, I guess so.
That's not true because like.
He's not
there's
going to
some
put an
people that
end
are-
to childhood
they have,
obesity.
like, the
So yes,
actual
Virgie
gene to
would
be
not
huge,
put an
but
end to childhood obesity, even though she went through it herself and had a rough
She
time.
went through it herself.
She would not put an end to it.
Body diversity is a real thing.
To suggest that childhood obesity happens because of the body
Yeah,
diversity
when you work
thing,
out,
it's
it
just
is.
not rooted in reality. Like, it's so silly that I would not be talking about this seriously if San Francisco didn't hire her and Berkeley didn't invite her to speak. Like, somebody has to say something. Like, obviously, we're not all genetically the same.
It's all this entire movement and everything surrounding it is a massive cope by fat women that are trying to psyop society into thinking that it's not disgusting. That's the entire thing.
Anyhow, we're gonna let's kind of we'll skip through here a little bit. I mean, we're already about at the end, but that's insane. Like, I saw what time we were at, so I figured that I was gonna cut it here, but it's insane. It's utterly insane. But anyways, guys, I am the Logic Vault. This is Asmongold. Please, again, give him a like, give him a subscribe. You know, if you enjoyed it, if you didn't, whatever, I don't care. He likes it either way. He takes it from both ends. he gets his likes and his hates, man. And I'm probably gonna be the same way. So, yeah, no, I want my haters to watch me close. You guys are the ones that I count on, all right? But the people that also watch me religiously just to listen, I like you guys too. Don't get it wrong. Don't get it twisted, all right? Anyways, this is the Logic Vault. Remember, guys, give it a like and a subscribe. And we do it the logic way. And if we don't, we do it with no logic at all. Exhibit A is on the screen. Not her. You know who I'm talking about. But I'll see you guys all in the next one.